as red. She's got the spices, smile so bright. Cooking with Judith right by my side. By my side. Chop, chop, sizzle, frying pan heat. From pancakes to a fancy feast. Cooking with Judith, fun to say the least. The least.
Hello and welcome to my kitchen. I'm Judith, and today I'm going to do some lovely Saki salmon steaks with a beautiful piccata sauce. Now, you've probably heard of chicken piccata. Well, that sauce is great on seafood and other things as well. It's not just for chicken. It's not just one dish. So, I'm going to change the sauce a little bit. I'm going to use Saki instead of white wine or chicken stock, which is quite often used. First, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of the Saki over the salmon and turn it, and that's just going to remove some of the fishiness. This is commonly done in Japan with seafood. So let's get started. Okay. Heat a medium-sized pan on low-medium. Add about half a tablespoon of olive oil and a teaspoon of butter. Everything nice and melty. And our salmon steaks that we have just marinated a touch, just for a few minutes. Turn it over the other side in the Saki. Give those another minute while this melts and gets nice and foamy. We're going to take them out and just place them in the pan. And we are disposing of that Saki because now it's flavored with raw fish. So now we're going to cook our salmon steaks. This will take a few minutes per side. Okay, we've had about 7 minutes on that side. Let's turn our fishies over and give them a little more time. Okay, our salmon has had another 5, maybe 6 minutes. And you don't want to overcook your salmon. It gets dry. So we're going to take our salmon out and put it on a plate. And times may vary depending on the thickness of your salmon steaks. Mine are really thick. But you don't want your butter to get really terribly brown. A little brown is okay. So now we're going to add 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. 3 tablespoons of Saki. And 2 tablespoons, or maybe a tablespoon and a half, of capers, which I've drained and rinsed. And I'm just giving them a little bit of a crush. Let it stir around. Ooh, smelling good already. And I'm going to turn the heat down because we are going to add butter to this. If you want a thicker sauce, you could add a little bit of flour right now. I'm not going to worry about it. Now, one thing I will do if the amount of sauce I have in a pan is not as much as you want for that size pan, is put a oven mitt just underneath to tilt the pan. And be very careful that you're not catching it on the hot burner. Then scooch everything down. Then we are going to start adding cold butter. And yes, cold butter. About half a tablespoon at a time. And let it melt into the sauce. Now, I have done chicken piccata before, and I will link you at the end of the video. I will give you a link to that video. It is so good. Okay, last one. So that's about 2, maybe a little more, tablespoons of butter. And we're just going to let that melt in. Now as it stands, it's a very thin sauce, so probably could have done with some flour earlier, but I didn't do that. I'm just going to finish melting the butter in, then we'll check and see for seasoning. Okay, now that you've got all the butter melted in, let's give it a taste, see if we need to adjust seasoning. Needs a little salt. Just a sprinkle. Maybe less than a 1/4 teaspoon there. That's better. Mellows the sharpness of the lemon. Then we're going to add some chopped parsley. About a half a tablespoon. Perfection. Now we're going to reintroduce our salmon to the pan. And as the heat's very low, we are going to turn it up a little bit because we want to rewarm the salmon. So we give that a few minutes to warm up. Salmon steak with piccata sauce. And a little bit of mixed wild rice and plain rice. We'll just pour some sauce over. And let's find out how it tastes. Oh, cooked beautifully. You don't want overcooked salmon. It gets dry and terrible. That is nice. Tart. A little salty, but not strong enough to hide the flavor of the salmon. And since I did use Saki to season the salmon, I have myself a glass of Saki. And no, you don't have to serve it warm if you don't want to. It goes really well cold. Lovely aroma. Okay, so easy when you're eating salmon to remove the bones, just like that. Here's the backbone, and most of the rib bones go too. They aren't hard to find. Just get your fingers in there and take them out. But rarely are you going to have a problem with, especially in a salmon steak, they're fairly obvious. That is so good. And if you don't like salmon skin or fish skin, you can peel it off. But it's good for you. Lots of omega-3s and stuff. That is so good. And I know most people think of piccata as a chicken dish. That sauce goes so well with salmon. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you liked the recipe. Please give it a try. It's not really hard. Please give it a like. Share with your friends and family. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon with a new video.